the business club is obviously, all majors are there, and it's really helpful for underclassmen to connect with upperclassmen who may not be in the same classes as them, especially regarding like future internship opportunities and helping them, you know, connect with them and ask them questions like, what does it look like for your day-to-day at your internship? How did you obtain your internship? What are they looking for out of me? What do I need to be doing to get myself to where you're at? Or, you know, maybe even just connecting like, hey, I heard you're at this firm or this company, whatever it may be, and I'm really interested in there. Can you connect me with somebody? I mean, it's the business club, that's what it's about, is helping people go beyond Walsh University.
We found a really good opportunity. I was really excited about it when we got to volunteer at Lighthouse Ministries. It's through the Business Builders Club. Basically what it is students that are in grades 4 through 6 go to this after-school program, create their own small business, and use us as college students in the business club and through the business school. Our mentorship abilities just to help them, get them on track, and just sort of to guide them in the right direction. But obviously it's all their ideas, all their work.
They really are like the heartbeat of the community from what I've seen. So it's really teaching these kids that what they want is, they can do it. They're not limited to what they see around them, and there's so much more out there. And just from their ideas, they can create their own future. And they have to pitch their business to the board of directors, and they get a loan, and they have to pay back the loan, and then they get to keep their income after they pay back their loan.
And they sell their products, and they make their profits, and they understand how capitalism works at a very young age, and it's very good, and we're very proud of them. They're doing a great job. Our emphasis on servant leadership, volunteering, giving back to the community, that's really where they've come into play, and that's where I've gotten the most pride from what I'm doing.
So the Garage is a student-led organization, and the goal of the Garage is to help students start their businesses. This year we're starting something called the Walsh University Launchpad, and in years past they did a Shark Tank, so kind of set up like a pitch competition. Students bring their current businesses or business ideas and pitch it to a panel of judges. And this year we're calling it the Woo Launchpad, kind of rebranding it and starting something new. So currently we have about 4 students who are going to participate at the end of this semester in front of a panel of judges. They're going to pitch their business ideas, and the top prize is $5,000 for the student to start their business. And then we also have prizes for 2nd and 3rd place as well.
So the Garage really funnels all of our students who are excited about owning a business and making them realize that this can happen right now. There's no need for that to wait. So the Garage really emphasizes that creativity and excitement. So the way that they're doing that, the Garage is supplying lots of different materials. So we currently have 2 3D printers, we have a Cricut sewing machine, an embroidery machine. That's all free use to all of our students in there. We offer classes on how to use these materials, and then students have the opportunity to come in and use them.
So back in January we had an event called Innovate and Elevate, and the goal of that event was to bring together our student entrepreneurs with our alumni entrepreneurs. So we had tables by our alumni and student businesses set up so students could come, meet the alumni entrepreneurs, see the student businesses also, and then we also gave out information about the Walsh University Launchpad and all that the Garage has to offer. We have a lot of resources to help our students start their businesses.
So Evening with the Accountants was a really big event held earlier in the year. They had all kinds of different firms and companies come, whether they be public accounting firms, just like regular companies like a Timken, come and try to advertise their business, talk about potential internship opportunities that they have and things like that. It was a really big deal for me. I landed my first internship at that event through networking with Novogradac, which I'm really excited to start this summer. Going to Evening with the Accountants made me realize how many opportunities there are out there for me as an accountant. And it also showed me how important networking is to Walsh and helping their students, and just like how powerful the clubs are at also bringing in these firms and helping the students obtain these internship opportunities.
Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome to our sponsors, members of the DeVille School of Business Advisory Board, and our many distinguished guests, including Representative Scott Oelsliger, Mayor Stephen Wilder, and members of the Walsh University Board of Directors. On behalf of Dean Mark Fusaro of the DeVille School of Business, we'd like to welcome you to Walsh University and our 53rd DeVille School of Business Scholarship Luncheon. My name is Antonio Paganelli, and I serve as the president of the Walsh University Business Club. When putting on this annual luncheon, there are two main purposes. First, to bring the community to the Walsh campus to share their experiences and their insights into today's business world. And secondly, to raise needed scholarship funds for deserving business students. The Business Club is a student-led organization within the DeVille School of Business with a mission of fostering leadership in service to others through experiential opportunities both on and off campus. Our goal is to promote an integrated approach to business and increase students' understanding of sustainable business strategies by providing a link between the Walsh community and the larger business world. In September 2023, my cabinet members and I were tasked with restarting the oldest and most historic club on campus, beginning with 0 registered members. With previous faculty and club members no longer at Walsh, our mission was to navigate largely unfamiliar territory and enjoy the challenge of overcoming a steep learning curve. It would be an understatement to say that our success this year would not have been possible without the guidance and wisdom of our club's faculty advisors, Dr. Philip Kim and Professor Amanda Dalpez. Their unwavering assistance with All Matters Business Club, in addition to the tireless work of our cabinet, was instrumental in how much we were able to achieve this school year. I am beyond pleased to report that we currently have over 40 registered student members, with countless other students who have enjoyed our events and guest speakers. Our members participated in our school CFA team that proudly represented Walsh and competed both regionally and nationally. The Garage and their work in kickstarting entrepreneurialism on campus. And finally, the IMA Accounting Club and their outstanding events such as Evening with the Accountants. The Business Club is serving the larger student body, with over a quarter of all of our members and event attendees not having declared a business major. Data analytics, biochemistry, cybersecurity, and communications majors, to name a few. As you have seen, one of our most notable achievements this year was in our work with Lighthouse Ministries. The Business Club has had 5 members volunteer an hour of their time every Thursday since January, heading down to the Lighthouse to work with our community's youth in their Business Builders Club. This was our pilot service project and our first since 2020, when the club ceased operations due to COVID-19. It has been one of our most fulfilling projects to date, successfully reinvigorating our club's commitment to service and leadership by giving back to our communities and our school. Aside from our volunteer work, we hosted distinguished guest speakers on campus, connecting students with the larger business community and creating career-building workshops such as Resume Night, LinkedIn Night, and furthermore assisting where we can with various other clubs within the School of Business. This past fall, we attended the Cleveland Cavaliers Sports and Business Analytics Night, where we networked with several NBA business analysts and intelligence experts. We learned how professional sports teams are using artificial intelligence in their organizations and how essential diverse experiences are to gaining an edge in the workforce, especially before graduation. All of our service projects, tours, and events foster our passion of leadership in service to others and our commitment to sustainable business strategies and practices in all of our endeavors. So, we thank you for your attendance today and your continued support for the DeVille School of Business and Walsh University. And now, to get things started this afternoon, by asking everyone to please stand and face the flag and place your right hand over your heart to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. And to furthermore, please remain standing afterwards for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I would now like to invite Father Albert Trudell, a priest of the Order of Dominicans and our university chaplain, to the stage to offer the invocation. Father Albert.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty God, we thank you for this opportunity to gather and to celebrate the success of commerce, the success of business, the success of our students. We ask that you bless our conversations this day. May they be fruitful. May they provide opportunity for one another and for the whole community. We ask that you bless the food which we are about to receive and bless all those who go without this day. We ask all these things through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you very much. Lunch will be served shortly.
Swords up, swords up. Swords up! Now this is how we say hello around here, everybody. Swords up! Okay, I'm not moving until you guys say hello back to me. Swords up! Swords up! Swords up! Okay, it is awesome to have you all here. Welcome to your Catholic University. Welcome to Walsh University. Welcome home. If you're an alum of this institution, would you please stand for a couple minutes for me, please? How about a round of applause for our alum? So it is really great to have you all home. Please stay standing. Nope, all the alum, please stay standing. Please stay standing. Okay, Eric Constant, would you please stand? Okay, this is our Vice President for Philanthropy. I think you should get to know these folks. I'm just saying. And here is our Vice President for Philanthropy. I think you all should get to know him. Okay, how about a round for Eric? Okay, thank you. All right, still standing, wait a minute. Okay, so Dr. Dunphy, I think looking at you, in front of you, you're surrounded by possibly a potential pool of adjunct instructors.
Call me.
So if you don't know them, and I think if you guys have some good ideas on the kinds of programs and the things that we should be doing to upskill the workforce, talk to Mike. Give him those ideas. You know, we are about to launch our 30th new program in the last 4 years. We are not sitting still at Walsh University. Okay, please. Everyone can sit down. That'd be great. Thank you so much. So one more thing, if I could have the Vice President for Enrollment, Rebecca, would you please stand up? So one of the things that we're working hard on, is creating partnerships to help businesses in our community be more efficient and effective with the education benefits that they are providing their employees. And the research is showing very clearly, nationwide, employees are expecting more out of employers in this domain of education, not unlike the way they expect you to provide medical benefits. So Rebecca is here to talk with you. You can talk with her, ideas, share ideas. What can we do to help our community deliver education for life across our community? So you all need to get to know her, and you should be roaming around and get to know them. Okay, please have a seat. Thank you so much. So I also want to welcome, we have with us some of the directors on the board here at Walsh University. If you're a director on the board at the Walsh University, could you please stand and be recognized? Who's here? Thank you so much. For the students, I do that because they're my boss. It's always a good idea to acknowledge your boss. That's a technique, just a little side point on that, okay? Also with us, we have a really special guest. President Doug Palmer is here. He spent 15 years here. He left here in 2020. He's now the president at Siena Heights University, a Dominican university in Adrian, Michigan. Doug, could you please stand? Let's welcome you home. So Doug was the provost at the time, the vice president of academics when I came here, so I had the pleasure of working side by side with Doug before he went off to be a president. And it's great to have him back. He hasn't missed a business school luncheon in a long, long time. So he said, well, I don't want to miss one now. So here he is. This is the first time doing this. As Antonio told you, we basically started at square zero. And we haven't done this since 2019. So Antonio, to you and to everyone, the whole team that put this together, how about a round of applause for our president? And we're going to hear from our speaker in a minute, and Mike's a very strong personality, but he was a little uncertain about all this. He said, what if I go and nobody shows up? What if they don't like me? So he put out a call to his high school classmates, someplace he could go back and touch the rock to make sure he had support, said, hey, I need you guys to come out just in case. Is there anybody in this room right here that's a high school classmate of this gentleman right here? You are. Please stand. Please stand. If you're a high school classmate, stand. You guys thought I was kidding, didn't you? I wasn't kidding. Okay. Well, listen, we are so excited that you all are here. All of us are really only here for one reason, and that's to support these students of today, because we know that they are, in fact, the leaders of our future. And I just want to tell you, Walsh University could not have a deeper sense of gratitude for what you all are doing here today, because you are supporting students not by name, but by intent. And there is nothing that's more honorable than that. And so, on behalf of the entire university, I want to thank you for that. Now, I'd like all of our students, if you're a business student, if you're in the DeVille School of Business, would you please stand for a couple minutes for me? Please stand. Okay, I want all the students do a 360 and look at the faces of the people that are here that believe in you. They believe in what you're doing and what you're trying to get done. And you'll hear people all the time talk about, you're the future. This is not an innate, empty statement. This is truth. The fact of the matter is, it is not the government that makes our communities what they are. It is the business community that makes our communities what they are. At best, the government can provide some essential services. Okay, police, roads. When was the last time you saw an ambulance go flying by that was owned by the government? It's the business community that provides the resources, the people, the ideas that create the quality of life that we all have. And so they are all here for you because you are the future. You're going to lead that effort. So one more time, do a 360, look around at these faces, and then please have a seat. Okay, so before we get started, for all the students, I want to offer you a framework. These folks around you, either they're here from the business community, they're your faculty, they're your staff, they're your coaches. They are giving a lot to you. And I think you have an obligation to think about, how do I give this back? So I'm going to offer you a framework here that for the rest of your life, this is how I want you to think. I'm going to change your thinking right now. And when Mike stands up and tells his story, I want you to put his story inside of this framework and give it a test run. See if this helps you think. Okay? So let me explain this to you. A couple years ago, I ran into a guy who owned a small business, and his business was cleaning windows. And he had a crew that was in Florida, and they were out cleaning the windows of a condo complex. And one of the crew slid over to the next unit and started cleaning the windows. And they're about halfway done, and the owner of that condo comes out onto the balcony and says, no, wait, stop. Not my unit. I didn't pay for this. I didn't ask you to do this. I'm not going to pay for this. Don't clean my windows. And the crew member who had mistakenly, doing this, thought really quick on his feet and said, oh, no, sir, it's okay. We have decided, the owner has decided that whenever we go to a complex, randomly take another unit and just clean the windows. Just show him how good we do our work, and just show them what it is that they're missing by not being a part of this. It's okay. So the guy finishes cleaning the windows, the guy goes back inside, they go away. They come back the next time, 3 months later, in Florida, you gotta clean your windows a lot, and the guy runs out, was so impressed by that, he signs up for the service. Hey, do mine too, gets on the list, he's a customer. Well, the owner, hearing about this, says, hey, that's a pretty good idea. I think we should do that. Whenever we go someplace, blah, 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 and suddenly business boomed. Okay, so here's the framework. All the students, I want you from this moment forward, whenever you're doing any kind of work, anywhere, any way, I want you to give some thought on how you would improve your company and what you would do to make it better. And then either implement your idea or go find someone in the company that can help you implement your idea. So said another way, I want you right now to make every decision you make as if you were suddenly thrust into the position of being the CEO or the owner and you wanted to make it better. Every decision, think like that, and you will be ready for what you're going to do for all of us in the future. Swords up. Swords up. See, they never really know when I'm going to be done. That's what this is all about. So, over to you, sir.
One more time, round of applause for Dr. Tim Collins. Hello, everyone. My name is Kostas Paxos, and I'm the Chief Administrating Officer of the Business Club. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our Dean of Business School, of the DeVale Business School, Dr. Dean Mark Frisaro. Would you please come to the stage?
Okay, thank you. Say swords up. All right. Well, I want to start with a little bit of perspective here. Okay, for me, this is 1 year here, but this university, 64 years, right? Okay, what did your invitation say about this event? The 53rd Business Club Scholarship Luncheon. That is quite a tradition, right? And this is, I mean, this university business was one of the original founding programs. When the brothers showed up here, they knew what they wanted to do for the community. They started with business as well as the other programs, and they got started right away. And this is a tradition. I am so happy that we were able to bring it back. So again, I can't go any farther without thanking Antonio and his crew, and Dr. Kim and Professor Dalpaz. They did a great job in bringing back this club, bringing back this event. So thank you. That's an applause line. Give them a round of applause. As I look out, I see, Brother Farrell is sitting out there with you because he was there originally. I mean, it's just phenomenal. Today's event, we put together a topic. It's a little bit of a hybrid. It's a little bit of a mishmash, but I want us to speak about each one. Ethical AI. I'm really curious to see where Michael goes with this, because there's a few different ways that I've been thinking about this. You know, here on the university campus, when we think about ethical AI, usually what we're thinking about is our students going to use it to cheat, right? And usually that comes down to you know, other than usually what that comes down to is, hey, if you're going to use it, be honest about it. So it's about being honest, right? Don't take someone else's work or a machine's work and pass it off as your own. Be honest about how you created what it is that you're passing off as your work. So that's one context for thinking about ethical AI, is be honest. The second context, when you go outside of the university, we think about, you know, this is a very powerful, and it's becoming ever more powerful every day, very powerful tool. And you know, I'll just give you one specific instance. It's become so powerful that you can create a video or an audio clip of somebody saying whatever you want them to say, right? So you know, we call these deep fakes, and it doesn't stop there. That's just one example of the havoc that we can wreak with this very powerful tool. So I think the second aspect of ethical AI is just be good. Take this tool, use it for good, don't use it for evil. And the last one, you know, AI has certain limitations. You know, I'm a numbers guy, I'm a data guy. I think of this as a big verbal regression, right? It's taking a cloud of data, it's giving you the average. It's telling you, hey, here's the basics of what I can learn coming down the middle. And that's troubling to a lot of people, because there's a lot of people that say, well, if you do that, it's always going to give you what the majority is thinking. And anybody that's not in the majority in any given context, their ideas, their thoughts, their images, everything is going to be left out. And there's a lot of people for whom that's very troubling. So the last lens for this for me is be inclusive. And so that's the thought process for me on ethical AI, and I'm fascinated to see where you're going to take this, Michael. So without that, you know, the final thing here is that in Michael Wheeler, you've got a rarity. Okay, Americans do not spend their entire career in one. They don't even spend it on one career, their lifetime in one career. Americans move careers. I mean, we move jobs, absolutely, but even careers. With Michael, you're looking at a guy that has basically been in one career, one job, one company. He's dedicated his life to this one company. So, as well as all the other things that he does, by the way. So let me tell you a little bit about Michael Wheeler before we welcome him to the stage. Professionally, Mike Wheeler Esquire is the president and chief legal officer of Patriot Software, where he has been for 17 years. Please don't hold it against him, Mike, that he is technically an attorney, because he's a businessman at heart. Now in his 18th year at Patriot, he's been part of helping run the companies, and he has helping to run the companies, and he has had the distinct honor of taking the fundraising road less traveled, okay, which has resulted in diverse merger and acquisition experience. His efforts have helped raise tens of millions via convertible notes to accredited investors, private placement offerings, spin-offs, sales of entities, Regulation D offerings, multiple pre-IPO confidential filings with the SEC, and a successful Series A investment with RZC Investments, the investment arm of the Walton family, and much more. He is on the board of multiple companies and organizations, including a local college and a publicly traded bank. He enjoys complex business and family planning to ensure the wealth of the righteous will be stored for the kingdom of heaven. Personally, Mike has volunteered extensively on multi-month mission trips, specifically working with orphanages, victims of human trafficking, and non-governmental organizations in Asia, Central America, Europe, and throughout Africa. He has worked to secure land rights and negotiate with tribal and local governments to secure clean drinking water, medical services, and free education with organizations such as Frontline Ministries International, Iris Ministries International, and Mother Teresa's Calcutta Center and the Sisters of Charity. He and his wife have 3 sons and enjoy living in Lake Cable, Ohio. Wheeler lives and breathes Patriot's mission to make payroll and accounting software easy and affordable for millions of American businesses and their accountants. And he loves being a part of the complexities of the company. So with that, I would like to ask Michael Wheeler, please come to the stage. We're delighted to have you here.
Okay. Okay. Hello, good morning, good afternoon. I feel like I need your microphone so I can move around, but you know, we might pick that up. Yeah, lots of cool things. I'm Mike, just a person. You know, nothing special. Road less traveled is definitely the direction I've tried to take my life. But ultimately, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Thank you, Walsh University, and so many of these sponsors that are here, friends throughout this room. I feel like, you know, oftentimes when you give a speech, you get nervous, you get anxiety and butterflies, but instead I've received friends and hugs and welcome, so this is easy. This is one of those moments where I could just stand up here and talk about myself. You're not here for me. Students, we are here for you, okay? We want to talk to you about how the American dream is alive and well, how thinking outside of the proverbial box is a real thing, and that your career may never look like what you think it may look like today in school, but allow yourself to take chances. Take risks on yourself as you go through this process, and hopefully what we talk about today will bring home a little bit of an opportunity to think beyond the expected, outside of the syllabus. Think beyond what's been assigned to you, okay? So I will be completely honest that I hadn't created a slide deck for much of anything outside of an investor presentation for a long time. So you're gonna get a little bit of all of that. We are gonna talk about ethical AI, so artificial intelligence and what that means. But being from this area, I'm very much from Canton. I went to Jackson High School, went to both Kent State and graduated from Mount Union, then went to law school at the University of Akron, all the way back to Patriot. It's headquartered right here in Belden Village. So very much from here, knowing that there might be people in this room that are afraid of artificial intelligence. And that's okay. We're gonna get through it together, everyone. I am here for you. So today, I wanna let you know something. You've been using AI for a long time, okay? It is all around you. When you write your emails and the little squiggles go under because you can't spell, I mean, obviously not for the people that go to Walsh, but some of the other schools, you know, then there's some AI in there. Or if your phone starts to predict what you're gonna say in your emails, a little creepy but helpful, right? That's artificial intelligence. It's kind of wonderful. So I need the students, you might actually have to get out of your seats again, and I'm sorry, but we've got some people here that may not know what to do next. So bear with me. I don't believe in paper. Yes, I'm a lawyer. I hate paper, and I'm really not a lawyer. I'd never lead with that. You should see doctors. When you say, hey, I'm a lawyer, they're like, no, I am not. In fact, actually, my brother-in-law here is Dr. Josh Jakay. He is the head of the emergency department at Akron General Cleveland Clinic, and found out that he is giving a speech on AI in the ER. So I am telling you what, there are ways that AI will touch you whether you know it or not. Because if you're in the ER, you may not know it, right? So on this, we're gonna go through a little slide deck. We're gonna do something fun before I hit this clicker. I know you all have smartphones. I will not be offended. Actually, I'll be offended if you don't take out your smartphone. So right now, everyone, smartphones out, please. For some of our older friends, those are called telephones. And now, when you get your smartphone out, I need you to hold it up. Let me know that you've got it so that I know that you're following, tracking. We've got it. Let's open our camera apps, everyone. Okay? Now, young people, tell them what to do. You point your camera. This is actually, I wish I had my camera. This is hilarious. Look at all of you. This is my kind of crowd right now. Okay? Let's be friends. My name is Mike Wheeler. That's my LinkedIn profile. If you aren't friends with me yet, please. I'm like a puppy dog. I really want friends here. But ultimately, if you're a student or a business person in this region, I want to be your advocate. Okay? I think what Patriot Software has done, what our company offers, is tremendously different than a lot of other companies, but none of it would be possible without the people around us coming together. So part of AI is knowing that it's artificial. We all have intelligence. We can use artificial intelligence, just like this QR code here on the screen, to connect with one another, right? Super simple. So for those of you that did connect, my sound was on, so I know some of you are connecting, so thank you. Parts of this presentation will be available on my LinkedIn this afternoon. So I'll put it there. Students, if you ever need a reference or you need someone to talk to or advice and say, hey, I don't know where to go in my career, me either, but let's talk. Let's get coffee. I'm happy to help you. So going through, let's talk about the actual program here. What is artificial intelligence? So in defining artificial intelligence mimics human intelligence processes through machines and algorithms encompassing learning, reasoning, and self-correction. Does anybody know what that means? Is there anybody here that could just stand up and in 10 seconds or less tell me what artificial intelligence is? Come on.
Human intelligence.
Say it again.
So it mimics human intelligence.
How does it mimic human intelligence? Through data, through a data repository. How do you use artificial intelligence? Anyone? Carefully. Yes. Yes. So this comes to the idea of, robots taking over the world, and can machines think? Yeah, machines can think, but it will think based on what we tell them to do. So there's no reason to be afraid of the apocalypse. I have a good feeling we're going to make it through the eclipse on Monday. So we're going to be fine. But ultimately, when you think of artificial intelligence, it's kind of a natural language processing tool. So as we go through this presentation, you may see that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm going to tell you what, guys, if you're a student, your professors know when you're using it. They do, because it's sometimes doing things that you just don't say. So there's an important part here, which is ethics in AI. Why do ethics matter? I'm going to be honest. I am a very imperfect person. Okay, I'm the first to admit it. I'm not that great. I am just Mike Wheeler, born and raised in Massillon, Ohio. I've made some major mistakes. I have. I've got a whole table of people that love me, that have been there around me as I've made those mistakes, right? And they've said, that's maybe not ethical, Wheeler. Get your line and gear. And that's hard to hear, but ethics matter. When you go around the rules, you're going to get caught. So ultimately, in AI, as you see an increasing role of artificial intelligence, there's reports out there saying that the artificial intelligence has taken what was decades of learning, and they're taking place in 12 months' time. So we are rapidly expanding in this economy. So unethical AI would be somebody that's saying, hey, I'm going to go around the rules. I'm not going to worry about this table of people that are going to hold you accountable. Instead, I'm going to find my own way. That's an unethical use of AI. Instead of saying it's machine learning, it's taking data sets of information and applying that, and then you expound on it. It's the second part that you're missing. You're not expounding on the data set. So ethical use. It is okay to use AI. In fact, as we just saw, everyone is using it. So I think most important here is transparency. It is important, just like I said, that I am an imperfect person, right, with flaws. It's important to be transparent in the use of AI, knowing that in my mind, AI is going to do for this generation what Google did for mine, which, you know, our professors would always tell us, oh, you can't Google that. It's like, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I actually thought to myself, when I went to law school, if I would have had AI, oh my goodness. Right, Sarah? Can you imagine? Our notes were spectacular. We would have dominated. So, you know, there's huge importances, but an ethical failure in AI, you know, it's when you have it write your research report. That is not okay, right? When you have unethical AI literally go through and breach the privacy or security of someone else or impersonate someone else. Now, you could do that, though, in a fun way. So it might be fun to use AI to impersonate me to send me a birthday card of myself. That would be great. But for me to use AI to impersonate me to send someone $100,000 unauthorized, that's not good. So it's going to come to training and understanding and education. Luckily, we're in a place where education matters. So that being said, we're going to move on to something that we used in a recent all-hands presentation for our company using a ChatGPT tool called Dolly. So we used a Dolly prompt and said, and Dolly can create realistic pictures, but you're going to find some problems in this. So here, Dolly, would you please create a realistic picture of an American small business? Okay, so Dolly 3 is built natively on ChatGPT. ChatGPT lets you use it as a brainstorming partner, not as your homework assistant. Okay, brainstorming partner, let's think through this, not necessarily do it for me. But as you can see here, they got American correct and business pretty close. Small is a little small, not quite right, and then there's some interesting words in between. My teenage sons were laughing. They're like, Dad, if you show them this, they're going to think you're an idiot. That's the point. I want them to think that I'm an idiot because ultimately, if I were to turn this in for a project, everyone's going to realize that you didn't do it, right? So going through, ChatGPT may prompt you to think, but do not allow ChatGPT or OpenAI to do the thinking for you because you or me, you may not actually be that smart. There's a good chance that that data set has way more information than you do. So if you suddenly have a full synopsis on Shakespeare and you're a freshman in college, there's going to be a real problem because we're going to know that wasn't you, that was probably ChatGPT. It used to be Google in my day. But now it's ChatGPT. So this is what I did. I actually copied and pasted my exact prompt because in order to speak to you, I wanted to make sure I wasn't misspeaking. So I went to ChatGPT, which I now do all the time, and I said, hey, I need to create a presentation on ethical AI, and I need to make slides. Because Dr. Phil Kim over here sent me a text one night. He's like, hey Wheeler, we love it when you come and talk to the school here at Walsh. You come in and speak to my classes every once in a while. Would you mind talking to our business club? Business club? Like a club. A club has 6 people. Am I right? So I'm like, oh, is that even worth my time? You know what? You never know. You could meet a star student. And at Patriot Software, we have hired so many people from Walsh that have ended up being superstars. Usually we hire them while they're in school or immediately right after. They have been amazing people. So of course I say, sure, Dr. Phil Kim, no problem. Let me know when it is. So you all can thank me. It was my fault. I chose today's date. We are here together. It's his fault, though. I did not know I was going to be giving a presentation to all of you. So I wanted to make sure that ChatGPT told me what to tell you. Told me to say certain important things. Actually, no, what I did is I wrote it, and this is the response it gave me. So ChatGPT, so helpful, will provide some detailed content for each section to help you flesh out your slides. So what I did, I iterated with ChatGPT, and it's like a friend. So in this remote work environment, I don't have a lot of people to talk to all the time. So it's me and ChatGPT hanging out, and I'll be like, hey, ChatGPT, how's your day going? No response. So then I ask it this, and then it comes back in a very boring fashion. It's like, no, that's not good enough. So then you have to push ChatGPT. So you go in, and this is why it's different than Google. It'll give you a response, and then you can say, okay, I like this part of your response. I want more information. And then it'll give you more, and then it's not quite right, and you can keep changing it until you get exactly what you're looking for or the information that you need. So on that, I want to tell you a little bit more about this guy, but really about all of us. So what can ChatGPT do in reality, in our real world environment, okay? So Patriot is a really cool company, and I'll tell you all about Patriot here in a minute. We build payroll and accounting, and I know all of you are jealous. You think, I wish I went into payroll because that's just so exciting. Right? When I was a little boy, fireman, boring. I want to go into payroll. No, I want to go into accounting. Right? Yeah. No one wants, most people don't want to do that. So at the end of the day, sometimes you can end up in a career that you never thought you'd be in. But oftentimes the doors that best open to you are the ones that look like walls. Do you know how many times in my life people tell me that's not possible? No? Actually, part of my foundation is in my faith, and I know that with God, all things are possible. So if we're going to do this, He'll make a way. We're going to do it. We're going to walk through that. So I just want to tell you a little bit about this and give you a quick parent homework tip. So over there on the side is my lovely family. Here is my bride, my wife, Jo, and our 3 sons, David, Daniel in the back with a hat, and Caleb. Daniel has really cool long hair. That's us. We just bought a new house, and it's really not new. It's going to be 100 years old in 2 years. So it's quite a project. If you'd like, you can, on my LinkedIn, you can find my wife and follow her on Instagram. This is the power of AI, though. It connects you to people. The idea is that these pictures are in 3 very different locations. So you've got us here in Lake Cable at our new house. Then in the middle, you have a picture in Mozambique, in Africa. Then this is a picture in Ghana, which is also in Africa. So newsflash, America, Africa is a continent, not a country, and they have countries in it. So Mozambique is on the Indian Ocean, right there as you see. Ghana isn't. It's hot. Ghana is up near the equator on the Atlantic Ocean side. So I've spent a lot of time all over the world, but the reason I'm showing you these pictures is to tell you that, wow, with technology, we all can be interconnected, okay? There are moments in your life where you need people to be there for you and you don't even know it. And so technology acts kind of like a fisherman's net. A fisherman's net, when it's just one line of rope, does really nothing. It goes in the water and comes back out. But a net, when you take multiple lines of rope that are interconnected, it goes in the water and comes back out, but it's carrying something. There's a purpose. And I think all of us in this room, we can act as a net together, where we can rely on one another in times where we don't even know that we need it, but we can't function on our own just as a single thread. We need one another to network together. It can be overwhelming, young people, to say, I'm going to go out and network. Don't hype yourself up. We're here because we like you. We want to help you, and we hope that you can help us too, because all of us together make one another better. And so, parenting tip that I was promising, when I was in law school, there was something called, let me refresh your recollection. That's a very lawyery way of saying you totally forgot. You actually knew this, but let me refresh your recollection. So the cool thing is, my teenage sons, especially the one in the baseball hat, have really hard homework, and I do not know any way to help them, except for ChatGPT, my little friend from my work at home job. So I get on ChatGPT, and he says, Dad, I got to do this thing. Just give me 5 minutes, bud. I come out looking like a rock star. Like, wow, how did you know that the synopsis went this way and blah, 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 blah. I use it as a tool to educate myself or re-educate myself in the areas that I already knew, but I probably forgot. So that makes me more efficient and effective. So rather than having my child sit there and struggle to work through homework and figure out what the meaning was, instead I can use that tool to help instruct my child. So that we can say, hey, let's have a full understanding now. Do you feel like you can learn this and then teach it to someone else? Wouldn't that be amazing to do your homework and have a revelation of it without necessarily a professor in your room to help you, help explain the homework, but then you get it, you understand it, then you ace the test? That's the power of ethical AI. Not having AI take the test. Having AI help inform you to some of the areas that maybe you didn't catch when you read Catcher in the Rye or whatever book may be assigned. So I wanted to pause here too, because this goes back to the net. These are people in your life that matter, and I wanted to show one of my wife and I, specifically in the middle, in high school. So it was funny that you asked people here from high school, and some of you didn't stand. I looked around the room, and then I've also got some college friends here, and I've got some law school friends. If I went to any sort of school with you, would you stand, Meredith? I'm watching. Anyone? There we go. Okay, there we go. But we're all friends. We're networked together, right? So Sarah Reed stands up, and then I meet someone. It's like, you have to talk to Sarah. I trust her. You need to know Meredith. I've known her forever, right? Oh, you're interested in AI in industry. Meet Lawrence Liptak, All Crane. You need to know these people. But how do we interact and connect with one another if we're all afraid to get out from behind our phone? Use your phone, make the connection, and then come in person and make the relationship. Here on this far right are my parents, down in front and center, and this is us in Ghana, where artificial intelligence in the emergency department actually came, and it was part of kind of a miraculous story of them surviving through cerebral malaria that they had in 2009. So this is me traveling with them back to Africa in 2010, saying, you know what? No, we know God's bigger than all of this, and he got them through that. But even more so, we're going to go right back to that country and go help those people. So AI isn't just ethical for our own use here on campus, but we're going to go do something to change the world. The world's big. It's overwhelming, and you can feel like a tiny little piece. How could I ever make a difference? The fact that you're here right now and interested is enough. It's a spark. But you can and absolutely will make a difference. And I think that part of it is the willingness to do it. So, where do you start in making a difference? You start with your story. So, what I did is I pulled out some of the information about Patriot Software. These are our stories. These are the things that you would see if you were to be interested in our company. Over the years, Mike Capel and I, we have gone, actually this is Mike Capel down here in the mustache, just so we can all pay attention. Everyone needs a mustache on a Friday. We went out and we were told no, over and over again. Hundreds of equity firms said no one could ever disrupt an ADP or a Paychex. You're insane. We're not interested in investing. Well, guess what? Fast forward now, those same equity firms are contacting us asking, can we invest? And the answer is no. Because we don't want to take on the wrong partner, because we know our unique story. So even though ChatGPT or DALL-E or any other AI system out there is available, it's not going to replace you and your unique cause. So you go through and you can read all about, and I might be boring, so I gave you lots of things to read on the screen. I'm not one of those presenters. I don't like clickers. I don't like PowerPoint presentations, but I do like our stories. You can go through and see that we are passionate people because we believe that payroll and accounting should be fast, easy, and affordable for American businesses and their accountants, not in spite of their accountants. It shouldn't require a week-long course to understand how to use it. It should be fast and simple and affordable. Imagine that. It's the way that you want to be treated. That's what we do when we treat our customers. That's how we live our lives. That's where the ethical part comes in. We're going to act with ethics as we offer some artificial intelligence to the customers. It's really cool. So as you go through, there we go, you'll see that these strategies are the actual framework that go through and run how we use AI in our business, but it can be how you use it in your life as well. So realistically, as you look at the future of AI technologies, we are all already behind. You know, there is no expert in this room because I don't think that the universe has fully grasped what's already happening. So we're instead collaborators. We're sharing information together where, wow, okay, so you're using AI in the ER and you're using that for ultrasound technology. I don't even understand, but I'm so interested. I want to know, what can we do to help advance your cause, right? Or, wait, you're using AI with payroll and accounting software? Well, how? Wait, are you replacing humans? Are we losing jobs? No, we're informing humans. Instead, we're using technology to help our support folks answer the phones and say, hey, we're going to serve up the right information to help the client when they call in, so that way they don't have to call again. It's easy. You know, or I log on to the website at patriotsoftware.com, and you can go in and find the information that you need right there. You don't have to sign up or sign in or whatever. It's right there. It's accessible. So part of that, though, goes back to the idea that you've got to keep good company. We're all people. We all make mistakes, right? So we brought that up in the beginning, that I'm flawed, you are flawed, we're all flawed. I mean, and honestly, it's refreshing to be in a room where I can just say that, you know, without God, it wouldn't even be possible. But it comes down to also the type of people that you associate with, and this matters because your reputation is very hard to rebuild once it's been damaged, believe me. And you look at this screen, this is a compilation of some of my coworkers here at Patriot Software. So front and center at our table is our Chief Product Officer, Kyle Dreger. Luckily, all of these people report to him. So, you know, the story about Patriot is it's not a me story. This is a we. You know, all of us together are doing something amazing, and we're like a human body. You know, the body doesn't function well without a heart. It doesn't function well without hands and feet and legs and kneecaps, you know. But I hope to be at least a little bit of the breath in this body to help speak about all of these amazing, talented people, because as we go through, and for especially the students that are wondering, can I get a job? Maybe. Maybe not, honestly. And the reason why is we are looking for world-class talent. And I want you to know that world-class talent exists right here in North Canton, Ohio. The American dream is alive and well. It's hard. It's different than it used to look like, but it is alive. So if you are a standout, please apply. If not, let us help you figure out how to become a standout. You know, there's a lot of opportunity when we work together all the way around. So a little bit about Patriot, just since we're on the topic, but these are the people, these are the type A, beyond A players. They're the ones that you want on your team. And Meredith Saduk, I think your husband's over here. So, you know, I go through and I talk a little bit about us, but I don't want to just skip over what it is that we're doing, because sometimes, especially, I'm a millennial, so I need to do something good. You heard my resume. It's like, I got to go do something good and help people. My whole generation, we want to give back. Look at this. Professional, scientific, technical services, manufacturing, transportation, finance, insurance, arts, entertainment, recreation, all of it. We have clients in every industry across the entire nation, all 50 states, every state, every jurisdiction. Patriot's unique because what we're doing is we are helping Main Street USA get their jobs done, get their people paid perfectly and on time. We're doing something that matters. You know, there was a period of my life where I was the child of a single mother. And you can only imagine what it would be like if my mom didn't have her paycheck on Friday. It's unacceptable. So we are making sure that those people that are making it in life, that they're living, the people that are working so hard and living their American dream, that they have one thing in their life that's easier. And as we do that, it may not be what corporate America tells us to do, but it's the right thing to do. That's where ethics come in, where you say, I'm going to go the extra mile. I'm going to hear your no, but say no to you, because I know what we're doing is a yes. I'm going to take the extra step. We're going to count the cost and put the extra effort in and the time and the money, because it's the right way to treat others. I mean, honestly, we talk about the golden rule, but it comes from the book of Matthew, right? Do unto others as you'd like them to do unto you. It's so simple. It's so elementary. It's a massive idea, though, because so often it's easier not to. So if you live by that principle, it will transform your use of AI into the future. So you can go through and then you start to explain, well, why do I do this? Well, because not to shut down an ADP or a Paychex, that's up to them. They can reinvent. But because the market needs it. There are 35 million businesses in America. That's businesses that are actually registered with the federal government. There's probably more. That 35 million Etsy shops, I mean businesses in America, these people need something to help them become legitimate. Patriot's doing that. So what we're doing, you know, in my career, what I'm doing is taking a law degree and a political science major, basically political science, like that opened the door for me to do all kinds of different things. But I found this passion in what we're doing at Patriot and said, you know what, I don't fully know any of it, but here I am, let's go. We're going to try something and do something unique. So these are the slides that we show to people that may want to invest in us, or to some of our banking partners, or insurance groups and things of that nature. We go through and explain what Patriot is, but there are things that make us very unique, and this is where technology makes a lot of sense. You see at the top, and this slide is actually from the summer, so we're closer to about 60,000 customers, but employee ratios. Customer to employee ratio of 316 to 1. So what that means is that as Patriot has continued to grow since the pandemic, we've actually gone down in headcount, which helps us keep our costs low for our clients, but then still be able to afford to bring in the best and the brightest of talent for our workforce. We have used technology in a very ethical way to build something that's sustainable and repeatable and isn't filled with humanity, meaning that it's good to have those employees. When you call into Patriot, because of that ratio, we can afford to hire people that have a 4-year college degree to actually help you solve your real-world business problem and get back to doing whatever it is that you do. And then if it's anything to do with Patriot that was the problem, if the reason you called was our fault, we own every inch of the code, meaning that we can fix the problem for everyone, forever. So rather than blow up with tens of thousands of employees, we have all kinds of cool ways that we're going to help and assist you in your time of need as you use our service. Of course, also, just because it's fun, we do have a patent, which is very cool, a cash to accrual toggle. You know, I would be remiss in saying that as we get this artificial intelligence mentality, it's easy to say, oh, well, I'll just borrow their idea. No, there are rules, okay? So we have something that our competitors don't, which is really cool. But we've got to protect that. And that's where there could be a misuse of AI and say, oh, we're just going to get around it and reinvent or reverse engineer that idea. That's not okay. That's not how we roll and how we work. Going through, the other thing that speaks is your reputation. I mentioned that earlier. So you'll see Patriot largely lives with a 5-star review. That's because we believe in people. We believe in those in this room. So I don't want to make this all about Patriot software. I just want to tell you a little bit about business, because the idea was, you know, from the basement to the boardroom, I am no one special. I'm just Mike Wheeler from Massillon, Ohio. okay? I happen to serve on some boards. I'm having a lot of fun. We have taken the road less traveled. We've raised tens and tens of millions of dollars, but we brought jobs to families right here. We've hired some of the best and brightest, and what we're doing, I think it matters, and it absolutely makes a difference. So as you go through this, you have to know, it's like where you work, especially young people, you can read all about Patriot, that's great, but you should be looking for these pieces, these slides. You should say, are their customers happy? Are their customers willing to refer other people to them? Should I work for that organization? You are right that young people are going to be demanding of their future employer. We are going to demand a lot out of you. So go ahead, hold us to the task. We're going to hold you to the task as well, probably without a syllabus. So you're going to have to figure out how to dream and think and be very efficient as well. So, this is what you're going to see on my LinkedIn profile later today, which it's all of this information about Patriot, but it is what we give to investors, because investors in the world, they really want to take advantage of you. So when we say that we took the road less traveled, I can't even begin to explain how less traveled it is. We go through and we say, we know exactly what Patriot is worth. In fact, we think it's undervalued because it's been hidden in the Midwest. If we were one of those shiny tech companies in San Francisco or along the East Coast, it'd be a whole different story potentially. But you know what? We're better for having been here. This is home. This is where we are. But when we speak with these private equity firms and they call in saying, oh, we want to invest, no, you don't. Because you want to have a short-term profit. You want to invest in us for 3 years or 5 years and flip it for a fast sale. What we're building is meant to last generations. So we're not willing to bring on just any partner. We've had many people offer, we'll write you a check, and we don't want your check. Because your ethics don't match ours. Your integrity is questionable. Your money's green, but it's not clean. So we took the road less traveled. We started out, we did something that this is worth hearing for a few minutes. We did what's called a friends and family offering, which was a major downer because we had just gotten off the heels of 3 filings with the SEC. We were going to take our company public on NASDAQ, but it wasn't right. It would have resulted in probably the company being bought up and then resold or something. Who knows? We don't know. But what we know is that we've been given an opportunity here on this earth to do something good. So Patriot is doing good, and we're going to protect it. So we went instead and we raised money from what's called an accredited investor. Accredited investors have certain thresholds and minimums, but they would have to come in and invest about $100,000 minimum at a time. So for those of you in this room that are shareholders, thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. You're making a difference. But those conversations were hard. For every one person that would come in, you would get 4 or 5 or 6 that would say, no, you're ridiculous. We would go on trips to New York City and people would laugh us out of the room. There's no way you could upset the payroll space. Yeah, there is. It's called the smartphone. We just were ahead of our time. We're pioneers going after something new. So we went through and we did this, and we raised literally tens of millions of dollars through friends and family, mostly Northeast Ohio people. And we had our legacy companies. That 1986 picture with the mustache is awesome. It is awesome. But we went through, we sold those companies, mergers, acquisitions, other opportunities to invest or reinvest. We poured all of those dollars right back into Patriot. It'd be easy to take a check, right, and go drive a shiny car and just retire early and play golf. I don't play golf. And what fun would that be? We're building something worthwhile. So then we went, and it was mentioned, but it's also worth noting, there's this little tiny group of people called the Waltons, and they own Walmart and Sam's Club. And they were involved in one of the transactions that we did, and it was through a conversation. When you get to know someone on a real level, and you say, hey, I'm Mike, what's your name? Oh, I'm so-and-so. Nice to meet you. Why are you here? Why are you interested? Let me get to know you. Let me care about you. Do you have any kids? You have a wife, kids? What's going on in your world? Let me just know you, the human. Turns out that you, the human, might be connected to the richest family on the planet. and you, the human, had been watching Patriot, which is why you made your other investment. And in the conversation in a car can turn into a major Series A offering closed with the Waltons. Walmart, holy cow, not Walmart, it's the actual Walton family, Tom and Stuart Walton. And that's a capstone achieving thing, right? But it doesn't matter. It's just stuff. We're only here for a period of time. It really doesn't. It's just stuff. It's just impressive. And yes, capitalism is good. And we are here. And the American dream is alive. But ultimately, it was this. It was, look, when one person stands up and says, wait a minute, this is wrong, it helps another to do the same. If you ever feel like you're in a spot and you can't stand up and say, this is wrong, call me, please, and I will stand with you when it's wrong. But even more so, if God puts a Goliath in front of you, he must believe that there's a David inside of you. There's a reason my wife and I named our firstborn David. David made a lot of mistakes. David's life was hard, but David led. Be a David. Be someone that has a mission and a cause and that goes down having done something not for themselves, but for the betterment of others. That's the principle to live your life with. That's where, if you use ethical AI properly, you are bettering others in the whole process. And so, in that, I just want to pause for a moment and let you know that anything that you set out to do is totally doable if it's something that's a calling on your life. So even this, where Dr. Kim says, hey, Mike, would you come talk to our club? It's like, this is a little bit more than I bargained for. But I'm glad to be with you today. And just very quickly, I wanted to present two more things because this is what a network does. You help other people. So you can get your little phones back out. I want to have you see a QR code here in a second. We were on a call earlier this week. There's an organization putting together a film that's going to be released nationwide in theaters in 2 weeks. And it's called The Unsung Hero. This film is different because it's being produced by Lionsgate and it's being put out across the nation. But if you're looking for something that you can actually take your family to, this is it, guys. This is it. We didn't write it. We know the people, but it's the family. If you know the Christian band For King and Country or Rebecca St. James, that's their family story and how they overcame adversity here, living the American dream. And it's great because we can support them and say that not every theater has to be filled with filth. It can be filled with something redeeming. So that's something there. Secondarily, if you like AI and you want to know a lot more, our friends at the Chamber are going to be putting on a conversation, as well as Malone University here, I believe, on April 19th. It's an all-day event. There's tickets available if you visit thecantonchamber.org. We're stronger together when we work together. So let's support one another. And then finally, thank you. If you didn't connect before, please do. I appreciate your time.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. We have some time, just a couple minutes for Q&A. So we have our business club officers with Mike. So if you guys could just raise your hands if you have a question or thought or comment. In the back there. No was a bunch. Give you a minute. Sam, I know you have a question for Mike here. Yep. Give me something.
Testing. Okay, we're good. So if you personally were back in school today, how would you integrate and utilize AI for your assignments?
I think for me, I'm the type of learner that I have a hard time just reading. So I can read it, and it's hard to retain it sometimes. So for me, I found, especially when I was in law school, that I had to write it out. And I would actually get whiteboard markers, and I would write on my windows. And once I wrote it out, I would erase my windows. But it helped me teach myself. And once I taught myself, I could ace the exam. The problem was, do I fully understand what I'm teaching? Do I know that this is what the main purpose is of what I've read. So if I could, a good example would be some of the cases that you would get in law school or maybe a pre-law class here, where it's 30 pages of confusion written in King James Version Bible. It's like, what in the heck is wrong with these people? If AI could just give me the main points that I should be looking for, then I could be better educated going in with a synopsis of watch for these main points and learn from it. So I think AI would make my process a lot faster.
So Mike, what's one thing that you'll tell the students that, looking back at, we grew up together our life, that you would wish you could go back and change that would have made you to where you are today?
That I wish I could change that made me to where I am today?
One mistake or something that you wish, man, I wish I would have done either this sooner or not done this at all.
Yeah, I think I was afraid. I let fear get in my way. So when you allow fear to dictate your future, there really is no future. That's not following in that calling that God has on your life. That's fear. That's you saying, I can't. I would have said no to fear, and I would have just taken calculated risks on myself sooner, or on something that I believed in, a mission like Patriot or the church or whatever it was I was involved in. I would have put myself into that place and just received it. There's so many times that I tried to be, lack of a better word, a chameleon, where I would try and assimilate to whatever group I'm talking to, rather than just be authentically me. They might like me the way that I am. And that's actually what brings value, is me. So if I would have just been myself right up front, I think that would have helped a lot. And then also if I really, really would have believed that I'm not better than anyone else. If I can take 2 minutes of your time, when I was 17, I was in Mozambique. And I was overwhelmed, because Mozambique is one of the poorest nations in the world, and there's a lot of human trafficking there. There's a lot of poverty. And there's children my own age starving. We were handing out bread at this area called the Boqueria, which is a multi-story high garbage dump. Flaming garbage, trash on fire. And kids my own age are coming to get free bread and water from me, but then going back and picking through the garbage dump to find something they might be able to resell or eat later in that day. And it was overwhelming, totally overwhelming. And then I remember looking around and thinking, it's like, God, how can I be used in this circumstance? What can I do? I mean, I'm just this kid, and I was born to a family in the United States, so I'm really, really blessed, really lucky compared to these guys. And it happened to be that we were working with Iris Ministries that we mentioned, and Frontline Ministries, my parents' ministry here in Canton. And we were handing out bread at a little shack, little schoolhouse built by the US government. And it hit me that, hey, somebody stupid in the government built a shack next to the trash dump, and that's a terrible spot for a school. But B, I mean, classic government, right? Sorry. And, but somebody somewhere had the wherewithal to make sure the funds were set aside to build this building to help these kids in this spot. And just maybe perhaps, I can apply myself, I can work really hard, and maybe someday I could at least be in the room with those people when they make the decision to help others. That might be how I can make an impact to change this other 17-year-old's life. That was what I wrote when I went to law school for my entrance exam. It was the most pivotal aha thing that I experienced that summer, because I realized that honestly, with God, all things are possible. Anything is possible. I'm going to walk through what appears to be insurmountable odds and do something good. And just, I'm here. Let's do something together.
Michael, loved your presentation, enjoyed it. Love your story and your commercials particularly. Anything you can share with us as far as what your next business angle, anything you're going to do as far as expanding the company?
Well, it's his commercials, really. And so you've all heard, or I hope you've heard our Patriot jingle. If not, visit our website and go have some fun. Also, watch our interns who are doing these hilarious skits on YouTube Shorts and TikTok and all kinds of stuff. realistically, Patriot's in a spot where I'm just part of the team, right? This isn't me. I'm just part of this organization and helping the dream come alive. But we went through a really tough spot briefly. We've gone through a lot of tough spots. It has been hard. But there's this bank called Silicon Valley Bank that collapsed. You heard about that? I was on a cruise ship for my brother's wedding in the Bahamas, so it was perfect timing. Not a vacation, by the way. And it forced us through a knothole where SVB, they seemed to be good partners, but they weren't acting fully ethically, truly. And when you hit through a spot like that, you have to preserve the cash that you've got on hand, because we've raised millions, right? So we had cash in the bank, but what are you going to do with that? So it was a wonderful blessing in disguise, because as we turned down certain marketing spends and advertising, I almost had a slide on this, which stinks, but it gave us the pause needed to say, what is happening in the 21st century when it comes to a true digital marketing strategy? Truly. How do we make it so that our clients can onboard themselves? And we've gotten to a point where 87% of our new clients onboard themselves without ever talking to anyone at Patriot. We don't have a single salesperson, but yet we have 60,000 companies and there are hundreds of thousands of employees using us for payroll and accounting, time and attendance, and HR, right? This inbound marketing, a lot like Amazon, no one from Amazon asks you to shop there, but yet you do, or at least your wife does. And we're going to find you. No one Googles payroll for fun. We're going to find you when you have a problem. We're going to help you. So we've been able to take those dollars, preserve them, and then now maximize them dramatically where, for what we would spend $1 on might be more like 8 cents. It's amazing. The other Mike. This is also my uncle, Mike Capel. So, thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Wheeler. That was very informative, and I'm sure everyone really enjoyed hearing you speak. Now, before you leave the stage, I just wanted to give you a little something to say thank you on behalf of the Business Club, and it will be something that you can remember Walsh by. Thank you so much for speaking with us here today.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. You are released, right?
Well, no,
not yet.
No, you are not
Stacy.
released. No.
Classic
No.
professor.
Yeah, but you are released. Yeah. All right, we have Macy and Kostas. Yep.
All right, hi everyone. I'm Macy Coleman. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of the Business Club, and we would just like to take this time to recognize our current scholarship recipients and the donors that came today. Please stand as you hear your name called and hold your applause until the final scholarship is announced.
So the recipient of the Edward A. Mahoney Family Endowed Scholarship, Nadia Demmel and David Rhodes. Recipient of the Edward and Henry Kane Endowed Scholarship, Rafe Henderson. Recipients of the Marion Burke Selm Schuler Endowed Scholarship, Caitlin Hale, Carolyn Korber, Harmony Mast, and Vanessa Sales. Recipients of both the Firgo and Giganti Scholarship and the Meaden and Moore Accounting Scholarship, Marquette Fikes.
All right.
If you heard your name, please stand up.
We would also like to thank our benefactors for awarding the following scholarships to our DeVille School of Business students. Richard W. Cordingley Endowed Scholarship, Karcher Group Endowed Scholarship Fund, the Paul B. Lemon Memorial Scholarship Fund, the Needles Family Endowed Scholarship, Peer Family Endowed Scholarship, Michael A. Petreka Endowed Scholarship, the Ramsburg Group Endowed Scholarship, Ray and Associates Direct Scholarship, the L.J. Verne Riesbeck Legacy Scholarship, Rooflin Family Endowed Scholarship, the Angela and Thomas Shervis Endowed Scholarship, Wiley Webster Stevens Endowed Scholarship, and the Ted and Marilyn Stoltz MBA Endowed Scholarship.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Thank you again, Mike. That was excellent. My name is Phil Kim. I'm one of the faculty advisors for the Business Club. So thank you again for your participation, your support, and your willingness to encourage these students. Now, as we close out the Business Club Luncheon, we are excited to present the Dean Carroll Mount Endowed Scholarship. This scholarship is open to all business majors who have at least a 3.0 GPA or higher and who demonstrate the involvement in campus and community activities, focusing on being leaders in service to others. The applicants were asked to write a 500-word essay without the help of AI as part of their, at least I think they were, as part of their application. They shared how they plan to live out the mission of the DeVille School of Business, which states, extending the charism of the Brothers of Christian Instruction by meeting students where they are with the resources and support they need. The mission of the DeVille School of Business is to prepare our graduates to be leaders in service to others through a relevant, global, integrated business curriculum within a Catholic, practitioner-oriented teaching institution. Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda Dalpays. I'm an accounting professor at Walsh. I'm happy to be here. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm thrilled to announce that we were actually able to give away $10,000 in total in scholarships this year. Thanks to your generosity and the generosity of all of our sponsors and benefactors of the university. I'll be presenting the Dean Carroll Mount Scholarships, so students, when I announce your name, please go ahead and come forward and join us on stage. And if I could ask you to please hold your round of applause until the end, until all of them have come up. The first award winner is Antonio Paganelli, Audrey Dornish, Cody Henry, and last but not least, Samuel Krakowski. Yes, yeah, we're gonna do one picture. I'd like to invite Anastasia Didenko, our Vice President of Business Club, to the stage to give our closing remarks. Thank you all again.
So as we bring another luncheon to a close, I want to express our gratitude to all those who have contributed to making this event possible. And our heartfelt gratitude goes out to our esteemed sponsors, 415 Group, Clifton Larson Allen, Employers Health, Huntington Bank, Longview Financial Partners, Meaden and Moore, Ray and Associates. Without your generous support and commitment, today's gathering would not have been possible. And to all of our guests, faculty members, students, alumni, supporters, thank you for your presence and engagement. It is through your collective enthusiasm and dedication that our School of Business continues to thrive and foster academic excellence while developing valuable connections that go beyond our university and strengthening that connections between our local and global communities. And we hope to see you next year. And I want to invite all of our officers on stage to take a photograph with Mike Wheeler.